Sontar ha! Sontar ha! Hello everyone. Yes, that was me saying Sontar ha. Now you see, on the Nerdy Brit set, this is it by the way, we've got one Sontaran, we've got two Sontarans, and you guessed it, we've got three Sontarans. Just going to put them back very carefully now. Now, while yes, it's an impressive Doctor Who collection, most Doctor Who collections either don't contain Sontarans, or they only contain one, or maybe two. But I have three, and I'll actually quite like some more, just because I bloody love Sontarans. And what a great transition, James, because that is the topic of this video. I bloody love the Sontarans, and I think they should come back to Doctor Who. Let me explain why. Now first up, let's fight away those evil commenters. Yes, I am perfectly aware that the Sontarans were in a couple of episodes of Doctor Who Flux. Which, you know, they weren't bad appearances. I am quite a big fan of War of the Sontarans. But that isn't a good enough excuse for them to go back away. First of all, because, not going to lie, Flux wasn't the best of quality for me, and therefore overall I'd like them to be involved in something of a little bit better quality. But also, while I really enjoyed the episodes, I don't think the Sontarans were used to their full strengths. Not in a bad way, I feel like the Sontarans were very much used for their classic Who purpose, which was just to be a villain. And that was kind of it. They were just kind of like, yes, we are Sontarans, we like war, and yes, I know you might think that is all the Sontarans are, but I'm going to show you there is more depth to those beautiful potato creatures. Now, one of the things that should be addressed here is I don't think that it's a bad thing that the Sontarans are iconic. Like I have to admit, I kind of just implied. In fact, one of the reasons I think we should bring the Sontarans back is because they are an iconic villain. Everyone gets into a big complaint about characters like the Daleks, the Cybermen, and the Master. And for me, for good reason, because I think those characters have been very oversaturated in recent years and very overused. I mean, the Daleks pretty much get a story in every season of the modern era, and likely the classic era as well. You've got the Cybermen that show up quite a lot, and each of their appearances seem to feel less and less creative. And you have the Master, which I am actually a big advocate of the Master also coming back, just because I think that human actor playing a villain gives you a lot more depth to play with, and the Doctor-Master relationship is one of the most interesting things about Doctor Who. But even they as a character are quite oversaturated, and my god, if they ever decide to pair up the Master and the Cybermen again, I will shoot myself. Because, my god, that is the most deadly dull pairing of all time. But here we get to the Sontarans, where you get an iconic villain without having been that oversaturated in Doctor Who. Their only real appearances being in Series 4 and Series 13 alongside the character of Strax, which we'll get into. Because for me, I think it is really important to have every series contain some form of villain that has appeared before, because then you end up with series like Series 11, which had no villains returning until the special, and it kind of just, I don't know, part of the iconicness of Doctor Who is that you have recurring villains, and that's really cool, and I don't think the show should ever lose that fact. So yes, that was kind of a long way of basically saying the Sontarans can be your cool returning villain for a series. And I actually think the Sontarans could be a great series finale. If we're really sick of Daleks, Cybermen, or Master villains at the end of series, I think the Sontarans could be a class villain for the end of a series. Now let's bring up the elephant in the room, which is Strax. Now, I think at the time it kind of worked, and not gonna lie, I'm a massive fan of the Paternoster gang. But the reason why I didn't mention Strax as a big appearance for the Sontarans is because I wasn't a fan, as such a big Sontaran fan, like all of the joking in this video aside, I am just genuinely a massive Sontaran fan. And seeing that character kind of like make the Sontarans kind of like less of a threat and more of a joke, while some of it was funny, didn't always sit well with me because it kind of took the stakes away from the Sontarans. And I feel like it kind of made the Sontarans as a villain lesser in people's minds, which I don't like that. And I think another appearance in the great RTD2 could help to rectify that slightly. I also think it sometimes gets ignored how much you can actually do with the Sontarans. The Sontarans work as a character invading Earth. The Sontarans work as a character where they are on a planet that the Doctor visits. As I've mentioned, I think they'd work really, really well as a series finale, not just to get us away from Dalek, Sidemen and the Master, but just because I think with a good plan, the Sontarans can be that big end-of-series threat that you really need. I also think something I'd really like to see the Sontarans do is I'd like to see the Sontaran-Rutan war done a bit better, because obviously we've only really seen the Rutans like once in like the classic series, and the Sontarans is always kind of like a thing that's passively mentioned, but I think there's an interesting story you could tell with specifically the Sontaran-Rutan war. And finally, to bring this back full circle, I want another Sontaran design. I love the design for the classic ones. Yeah, it's a little bit basic, but you know, I quite like it. And I think the modern redesign with the blue and those fucking abs, like those Sontarans, they are just doing tons of crunches. Like, subscribe if you want to see me do a Sontaran workout routine, because you know, my dream body is the body of a Sontaran. Short, bit ginger, and fucking huge, mate. Sorry, that was a complete detour. I don't know why I took you on that detour with me. I'm sorry. But not gonna lie, completely selfishly, I want a new design, especially because the design in, what was it called? Yeah, War of the Sontarans was probably one of my least favourite things about it, because my god, it wasn't creative and it was just a bit crap. Not gonna lie. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, would you like to see the Sontarans return? Because I know I bloody would. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, because we are on the journey to 1,000 subscribers, and you could be one of the people that help. If you comment and you say you've subscribed, I will reply to you and be like, hey, thanks for subscribing. You know, we can have a little chat if you'd like, because I'm nice like that. If you want to see another video, click here, because I want more watch time, really. Like, I can go into this, like, big speech about, you know, oh, it's going to be another great video, which it will be, I can't lie. But I'd also like you to not click on another video that isn't mine. So it's a tactic. Go click it.